report into the former Parktown Boys High water polo coach will be made public once it's been released to parents and pupils. Gauteng Education MEC Panyaza Lesufi made the announcement earlier, saying an investigation has indicated that some pupils were too scared to come forward. eNCA reporter Slindelo Masikane has been tracking that story, and she joins me now. Well, Sli, what were the reasons for not releasing this much-awaited report?
Are you honest?
Now, as you'd understand, this report has to be released first to the school, as well as the parents of the school and the learners first, before it can be released to the public. But earlier on, we did hear an address from MEC Panyaza Lesufi, who was addressing the learners of Parktown Boys High, where he expressed that he's quite unhappy and really upset at the fact that this new report is actually going to reveal more issues around the school, and that in fact the first report did not cover enough. He says that there's still some issues that are going on in here that shouldn't be happening. In fact, children still feel as though they cannot come forward with some of the information that they still have, and he really did appeal to the learners that they are trying to break down this culture of silence that has developed here at Parktown Boys High, and that it's unacceptable that students feel that they cannot come forward when they feel that they've been harassed, sexually assaulted, or basically bullied. Now, Vuyo, I am joined by the Gauteng Education Department's spokesperson, Steve Mabona, who's just going to explain exactly what's going to happen now following that assembly that was taking place earlier today, where MEC Lesufi did address the students. When can we expect this report to be released to the public, Steve?
Definitely, the report will be released at 6 o'clock. We will be meeting with the parents to, take them through the process of the report. As you will know, that this is a subsequent report from the initial investigation that was conducted by a different law firm. So now this is a new one where they will be telling us on the results that they might have found, on what is it that we need to go and do. Mostly, it's basically on the culture of silence that has been an issue for us as the department and the school. So as you will know, that there's a new SGP at the school and the new principal. There's a commitment, from the management of the school at its entirety to say, let's move forward, let's make sure that we change things around so that we have a school where teaching and learning will be the paramount than us having any incidences that we are not fond of.
Now, of course, we know that it's not only the learners that have been affected directly by the sexual assault scandal that took place at the school, but there are learners here who've been affected indirectly. What kind of efforts have been made in order to treat those symptoms that have come from that?
Look, a lot has been happening now just to make sure that you take the learners through the counseling process, which is, it will continue to happen on a continuous basis. So we have already interacted with some of the parents through the principal and the school. They've been interacting with the parents, and there's a support that they are offering the parents. And as you might have seen, that the current case that is happening, at court, there's a lot of cooperation, hence probably you see that there might be a conviction of some sort. So we're still waiting for that process to go ahead. But you can never sense that the learners are supported. Those that are supposed to be coming for the examinations to write as well, they are given that support so that they are in a space where they will be in a position to write their papers.
Now, of course, we've seen many parents over the past couple of days in the media speaking about how they are unhappy with how this issue has been dealt with. What is the response from the department?
Look, as the department, we said to the parents, give us an opportunity to investigate all allegations that are there, and when you are dissatisfied, give us an opportunity to investigate. Hence, MEC put an emphasis that, look, we appointed this law firm to conduct the investigation on the secondary victimization allegations. And we felt that parents probably they were unfair in the sense that they will go to media platforms and talk about things that we are still continuing to investigate. So hence we felt that probably we might have been shortchanged as the department, and we feel that moving forward, after we have presented the report, we will really appeal to the parents who will then want to continue to vilify probably the school and the department to rather provide us evidence. If you want us to continue to investigate, we will be in a position to do that. But we really need to move forward to say, if the report says there are people that need to be charged, we need to do that. If the report says probably the previous firm might have done things differently, we'll have to wait for that and have a way forward.
Now, what kind of processes are now in place in order to vet teachers? Because we are clearly seeing that there are people in schools that are not exactly here to teach.
Look, we have started with the process. All the teachers that are coming into our fold, the vetting process, commence. But as you will know that we work with SACE to say you can't, want to regulate the space and want to certify people without a thorough check. So we're working very closely with SACE to say when you certify teachers, make sure that you do, thorough work. Parallel to that, as a department, we'll also do our checks and balances, but SACE really need to work with us, certify teachers that they are satisfied that they've undergone through the process of checking, thoroughly so. And as a department, we should be in a position to move forward as well.
All right, thank you, Steve. All right, as you've heard from the Gauteng Education Department spokesperson, that we do expect a meeting with parents later on this evening at around 6 o'clock. That report will be released. We do know from MEC Losufi that one of the recommendations in that specific report is that all of the recommendations that are stated in that report there's a deadline, and that deadline is the end of the school year. So whatever comes out of this report, all the issues need to be resolved as well by the end of the school year. And we did also hear a little bit from this new principal, Mr. Malcolm Williams, and he did speak a lot about how the school has in itself taken steps in order to recultivate a culture of caring for each other amongst the boys here at Parktown Boys. I don't know if you noticed that Steve Mabona was wearing a blue ribbon on his suit, and in fact all the kids here at Parktown Boys are wearing these blue ribbons, and it is in solidarity with the boys that have been affected directly and indirectly by that sexual assault case that we do know that the trial is currently underway, and we know that the suspect has already around 144 charges. There are now 183 charges that are being investigated at this stage.
Thank you, Slee. That's why we're going to leave it for now. Slindelo Masikane will, of course, be staying put, waiting for the release of that report. She is outside Parktown Boys High School, indicating also that the Gauteng Education MEC Panyaza Lesufi is very unhappy. Upset is the other word that she used to describe his condition. Unhappy at the fact that a lot of the pupils are still unable to come forward because the school hasn't really created that conducive atmosphere for them to be able to break their silence.